President Putin's spokesman has brushed off allegations that the Kremlin was involved, as if. German Chancellor Angela Merkel is under growing domestic pressure to end her support for the joint German-Russian Nord Stream 2 pipeline project in response. And also today, the father of Dawn Sturgis, who died in the Salisbury poisonings in 2018, has said he believes Germany might work harder to get answers than the UK has done since the death of his daughter. Well, Tom Tugendhat is chair of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee and Conservative MP for Tonbridge and Malling and joins me now. Tom, very good evening. You've been quite outspoken in your views on our reaction both to China and Russia. What do you think can be done now that wasn't done at the time of the Skripal poisonings?
Well, Iain, it's good to be with you again. I've been outspoken about authoritarian regimes that I think threaten the United Kingdom and our interests overseas. That's why I've been outspoken about those two countries and indeed others. I think what the UK can do now is be rather stiffer with the sanctions that we've got in place. The Magnitsky sanctions are now in place. We can use them to target individuals in Russia and indeed elsewhere around the world. And I think we should be using them rather more actively to bring some accountability to some of those who have been part of Putin's mafia regime and who are spreading this kind of violence around the world.
But what sanctions should be applied that haven't been so far? I mean, are we getting to the point where these sanctions should be used against the leaders of the FSB, Putin's cabinet, maybe even Putin himself?
Yes, we are. We're exactly at that point. We're dealing with a regime that is not a government in the usual sense of the term. Putin himself is one of the richest men in the world. He has probable assets of somewhere north of a few $100 billion that he's stolen off the Russian people, and he's effectively treating an entire country as his own private fiefdom, very much like an old czarist. And it's this kind of behaviour, I'm afraid, is bad enough when it's dealing with, the Russian people who are being so brutalized by his regime. But the fact that he's spreading this violence around the place, first to the Skripals, but actually invading Ukraine, occupying Georgia, attempting to murder the Prime Minister of Montenegro, points to why we should be stronger against this.
But these kinds of sanctions, OK, we could impose them unilaterally, but they will only really have an impact if it's lots of other countries that join us in doing so. Germany has a very different relationship with Russia to us. Russia is a much more important, not just trading partner, but supplier of energy than it is to us. It's going to be quite difficult to persuade the Germans to do this, isn't it?
Well, you're right. Of course, it would be much better if we had more countries joined in. But actually, the UK has a particular role, sadly, in the Russian economy, as in many ways the launderer of dirty money. The City of London has been a place where dirty money has been laundered for many, many years. And sadly, the UK still has a place in that business. If you look at the UK property market, or indeed in the UK finance or law, many of these services are used by those who, frankly, shouldn't have access to professional services. They are deeply criminal organisations.
Someone's just texted this question, so I'll put it to you. Ask Tom why his despicable party ennobles Russians and takes dirty Russian money.
You ask a very good question.
Oh, that's quite an enigmatic answer. Sounds as if you rather agree with the questioner.
I think there's a real problem in the UK at the moment in the way that we finance politics, and I think that this is something that we should address. The real challenge, though, is not just on that. It's also to do with how we give away citizenship, how we and how we allow people whose true purpose of citizenship becomes clear later to maintain citizenship that, frankly, they shouldn't still hold.